Hi, you're Melanie. You're the bee girl. We're on the top of the Royal York, the Fairmont Royal York Hotel. On the, what floor is this?
We're on the 14th floor, Mark.S. And as you mentioned, my name is Melanie Coates, and I am the head beekeeper here at the Fairmont Royal York Hotel. I'm also a member of the Toronto Beekeepers Cooperative. This apiary here would not be here if it were not for a partnership with Food Share and the Toronto Beekeepers Cooperative of Toronto, and the great foresight of Fairmont Hotels and Resorts. What you see me doing right now is I'm doing a little smoking, getting ready before we go into the hives. We want to calm the bees, and essentially by smoking the hive we simulate a hive as if it were on fire, and what the bees do is they retreat into their hive and start to gorge on honey, much like if you were eating a big turkey dinner. You get a little relaxed and very full. They need to gorge, so they think they have to go somewhere and make a new hive, but they don't, because the hives are here for them on top of the Fairmont Royal York.
Oh, I see. Okay.
How about you? Would you like to come and do a little beekeeping, Mark.S?
Well, am I ready? You tell me.
I think you are suitably attired.
Suitably attired, correct.
Looking good in white. White is always the best color to do beekeeping in. You never want to wear black.
Why?
Well, if you wear black, they think you're a bear.
Oh.
Jeans,
okay.
Jeans will do.
Yeah.
Your shoes, your feet are covered.
Now, you told me not to wear any cologne.
True.
Why is that?
Well,
okay.
It's a sin.
I got a list. You know, cologne, don't eat bananas for breakfast.
Don't eat bananas.
And a whole slew of other things that I heard from you, and also learned from the presentation when I was here on Wednesday at the Fairmont Royal York Hotel, when they did a very nice bee presentation. And don't just tell me, you know, don't just lock off the answer and just say, you know, just because. Just really, I'd like to know the answer.
Well, some things are just because when it comes to bees. Common sense is always the best thought when you're beekeeping. You want to be covered as much as possible. You're aided by the smoke. And the banana story is actually quite interesting. It creates the scent of their pheromone. A few days ago I even opened up one of the hives and I was like, oh, I smell bananas. And in fact, that is their pheromone, and you don't really want to be exuding that pheromone when you are, or that scent of the pheromone, when you're beekeeping.
Ah, okay.
So it's all about good sense. And what I like to do when I'm getting a little closer to the hives, it's always good sense to put on my hood. It's always good. Hair always gets in the way, but good suit up. It's a nice cotton suit, so it's very light. Gets very hot up here atop of the Fairmont Royal York.
And what about gloves? I'm wearing actually your gloves.
You've got some gloves on. I'm okay. What I generally like to do is take away, you know, any scent of soaps that might be on my hand. Just give it a little smoke, and then we'll go over with my handy hive tool. This isn't a traditional hive tool. I left mine at home, but I think this will do just well. It's usually flatter. And
how do you use that?
I call this a hive tool. It's your main equipment. You need to prop open the hive.
Okay.
So let's go and give the hives a little smoke. You'll note we lovingly named these hives the B&B suite.
Oh yeah?
The Stay in a Hive suite. That one's masked right now, but it's the comb suite. Okay. And what hotel would not have a VIB suite?
That's good. That's good.
And
of course, how
we all
sweet
know
it is.
Romance at the Fairmont Royal York, the Honeymoon Suite, and a hotel that is known for 3 generations of the British royal family to stay here. We call it the Royal Suite.
Actually, right behind you is where they actually stay.
Oh, I can't tell. I cannot. I neither can confirm or deny that.
It's a secret.
So let's go into the Honeymoon Suite.
Okay.
And what I like to do is put a little smoke around, calm them a bit. All right. So this here is the entrance to the hive. Bees have a work day like many of the office workers surrounded here in the financial district of Toronto. And the urban agriculture experience for these bees is they will go foraging starting at approximately 9 a.m. and return at dusk. Similar to the office workers, maybe if they're staying a bit later. We put these on top to just in case it gets a little windy up here. Today actually they're expecting it to be a bit gusty. And generally when I go into the hives, it's a two-person job. We like to assist each other. I know your hands are full right now, Marcus, so I will not call upon you to assist.
Okay. And what kind of assistance does someone like you require?
Well, like for example, I might be lifting up the hive here. It's a lid. There we go. Here's a little bit of advertising.
Of course.
And we'll want to smoke the top. It's always good to go into the hive in the morning when some of them are already gone out for the day. They'll forage up to 5 kilometers. We've got the Toronto Islands here. You'll see how this hotel, when it was first built, it was the tallest building in the British Empire. Now it's situated quite nicely where the rest of the city has grown up around it. So the hive tool is quite useful for propping open the lids. If you want to come a little closer and get a shot here, Marcus, as I open, you'll see a lot of the bees inside. Just loosen this here. I'm going to open that up.
Smile, you're on candid camera.
Now, hive is comprised primarily of worker bees, which are female, and about 5% in this hive are drones, and most important of all is the queen, and there can only be one queen. Now, if we have 2 queens, that is something that we would want to investigate. And as a beekeeper, you're checking for, when you go in to do a hive check, number 1, you want to make sure the queen is there.
How do you know the queen's there?
Well,
because this isn't transparent. Where would she be, in the bottom or something?
The queen is much larger than the worker bees of the drones, and consequently, you want to keep the queen in this area. This is called the brood chamber. So the brood box is larger. And the brood box they're used primarily for egg development. And then right here we have the queen excluder. And when I lift this box off, you'll see the screen will not permit the queen from below to come up into what we call here the honey super. So that eliminates larvae in your honey, of course, as well. And it concentrates the brood development down here, which is something you're always checking for. So, let's just see how we do here. This one was recently cleaned.
How often do they need to be cleaned?
No, cleaned. We replaced a queen in here.
Oh.
So, I'm just going to open this one. And see what we've got here on the frame. So there's not a lot of honey being made here. We had just recently had a harvest, so the bees
How long will it take to get a full harvest? I see on a piece like that.
Well, we need to develop this one, the colony wasn't as strong below, so we need to develop the colony more before we start thinking about the honey development. I'm probably going to be interested in seeing the queen excluder from below. And I'm just going to take this off, give you a little look at that. It's really on there.
So when you're smoking this, would the queen get wind of that? I guess when you take the box, and would she stay there or still leave as well?
No, the queen is concentrated here and she can't get up. I'm just going to show you.
Until you remove that, yeah.
So you see how it's so sticky and difficult to get up? What that is caused by is the propolis that the bees create. It's almost like a sealant. It's very, very sticky. So there's not a lot of honey production going on. But this is essentially the queen excluder. I'm not going to lift this off because we want to maintain the integrity of the hive and assure that the queen does stay down there. It's not worth opening it up today. But but as I mentioned, she cannot fit through here where the drones and the worker bees can, and they move up. I can open another hive, but maybe I can show you a little bit more of the honey production. Just want to calm them down. See? Hey girls. Honey is the original slow food. Let me tell you, at a harvest, that honey drips very slowly from the bucket.
What kind of harvest or yield do you get from the hives that are here?
Well, the hives have been here since 2008, and the apiary project and the bees are really truly thriving. And the bounty that we've garnered average about 450 pounds per season, and last year we achieved 900 pounds, which was quite incredible, and that's owing to the tender loving care of the Toronto Beekeepers Cooperative, and also the wonderful weather we had last year. I think we're going to have the same thing this year too.
Well, what determines a good yield or harvest?
Well, the heat. There's other little tricks that we can adhere to. For example, if it's hot, we want to water as much as possible around the hives so that the bees spend time making honey and not foraging for water. So we try to supply as much water nearby as possible so they're not expending that energy. And we're going to put this on. So this honey super wasn't that exciting because A, it didn't have a lot of bees in it, and
I saw a lot of bees for me.
Oh, believe me, there's many. Right here at peak, we have over 300,000 bees atop the Fairmont Royal York. Peak season.
Peak season. So how many would you have here? How many would be in these three boxes?
This starter box, maybe early season, 40,000.
40,000? How are you able to count that?
Quadrant studies.
Trade secret. And this is a starter one, these three?
No, this one we had a little trouble. We lost the queen in this one, so we started over. So we did get a decent harvest from it in late July. This one is our pride and joy.
Why is that?
Well, it's called the Royal Suite, of course.
Oh, that's right. I can't see it from
but
the front here.
It's yielding a great deal of honey for us. See, if you want to have another look, a little bit close up of some real bees. Doing well
yes,
on
here's the Royal Suite.
That's what we've got here. Oh, my hair gets in my face. There we go.
Again, this is where you
That's
might need some
propolis.
help.
Do you hear that little crack?
Yep.
Yeah. Put that down. Here. And I always like to talk very sweet and calm.
So what are these ladies here doing on the top of the box here? They're just hanging around, lady.
Well, all the bees they have their own jobs. Before we approach the hives, there would be scout bees out there guarding the hives. And some are cleaning, some are cooling, some are already out of the hive and they're foraging over on the Toronto Island. So I'm thinking, I want to get a close-up on the propolis that it was quite windy the other day, and they want to have it nicely sealed. Okay. And we do harvest the propolis for apiotherapy purposes. It makes a nice tincture. It's very hygienic. Okay. Look at this. Hey, ladies. Beautiful. And as you might know, the apiary project.
The apiary project?
The apiary project is a natural development out of the herb garden project here, which was established about 15 years ago. And the previous chef saw an opportunity to push the environmental stewardship a little bit further. And truly, you can't get a supplier any closer than on your roof. And that's what urban agriculture is all about here in the heart, in the urban center of Toronto.
So now you're pulling out one particular...
Yeah, I just want to I'm going to give it a little smoke. Now it's nice and loose right now because we've had a little bit of sunshine this morning. A little smoke there. I think we've got some nice... So again, this is a honey super, honey super, honey super, queen excluder, brood box, brood box. And what is the brood box for?
Yes, I was going to ask that.
Laying. This is where we want to concentrate the egg development, and this is where we want to concentrate the production of honey. And over a season, the hives just start getting higher and higher as they make more honey. So I'm pulling out a frame here. You can see a considerable amount of nectar in. It's beautiful. Just look at it glisten in the sunshine. That is gorgeous. You get a nice shot of that. And you can also get you're capturing some of the capped honey. You see up on the top part of the frame there? It's glorious. Look at it glisten in the sun. And look at them, they're just gorging on that. So their little heads tucked in there. Oh, they're so beautiful.
Just like at a honey bar.
They're having a great, you know, and see how calm they are. They're just really enjoying this beautiful August morning.
So more heat is ideal for them?
There's no rush. And on the other side here, you see another piece of the capped.
Oh yeah, there we are.
Oh, that's really nice. So probably by September, we'll have a few more honey supers on this particular hive. Just going to put it back nice. And I might as well close up the hive. Don't want to disturb the girls too much. And you see along the outside here, just go around the outside frame. This is propolis.
Oh yes.
Here on the sealant. Fascinating creatures. Very, very sticky. You can see it all over your gloves here. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna put it back on. And technique, I'm putting the lid back. My technique is to put it on a corner, go very gentle, turn it around, give them a lot of notice when you're putting the lid down so you don't squish a bee.
Ah, good idea.
Be very gentle with your hands. And we put this back on like this. And I prop it up a little bit so they get a little bit of extra air. If I moved it right down, it would cover this, and then we don't have that as an entrance or exit. And I'm going to put this back on because the prediction is a windy day today. Doesn't feel like it so far. But Marcus, there you have it. Thank you for your interest.
Okay. Well, let's get some interesting facts here. When I was at the presentation, the lady said that in 4 years, if you lose the bee population, they die down in 4 years. According to Einstein, like hello, he said goodbye to the food chain, goodbye to the population. There won't be any food.
That is a very
shocking
often
fact.
quoted statement. It has not been proven, thank goodness, and it's a very strong statement, and it's a statement that we should all pay mind to.
Okay.
Bees, urban agriculture is doing very well in the heart of Toronto. There's much more to go, and you cannot have pollination without bees. And here, thanks to the Toronto Beekeepers Cooperative and the Fairmont Royal York Hotel and Food Share for spreading the word, and we hope that others catch the spirit.
Great. For more information, the website would be to learn more about the beekeepers or Fairmont Royal York.
You can find myself on Twitter at beegirlto. That's beeeegrrl2. And you can go to the Toronto Beekeepers at torontobees.ca.
Great. Thank you so much, Melanie.
Thank you.